You eat whatever you're given?
Yes, we eat bird, rat. Yes, we cook it in the forest.
The hostages held by Somali pirates are still haunted by the memories even years later. You probably remember headlines mentioning hijacked ships by Somali pirates a couple of years ago. If only you knew that these pirates are back in action. Over 90% of the world's trade is conducted through shipping. Imagine the chaos if pirates were to disrupt even a fraction of that. From oil tankers to container ships, nothing is safe anymore. So, without any further ado, let's dive into the comeback of the Somali pirates in 2024. Somalia is a country in the Horn of Africa. Now, why should you care about this? Well, it's not just about ships being attacked. It's about how this affects the big picture of global politics. You see, Somalia sits in a really important spot on the map, right where major shipping roads converge. So when piracy flares up there, it's like a ripple effect that can touch countries and economies around the world. Let's rewind a bit and look at the history of piracy in Somalia. Somalia's been through a lot over the years. Civil war, and when their central government collapsed in 1991, it created the perfect time for pirates. With no one to enforce maritime law, they seized the opportunity, armed with just speedboats and Kalashnikovs, and started raiding ships. These pirates are majorly driven by desperation rather than malice. Some are former fishermen who turned to piracy due to depletion of livestock, and some are unemployed young men. They majorly come from coastal communities in Somalia, where economic opportunities are scarce. Now, after years of international efforts to tackle piracy, things calmed down for a while. But they're back, and their comeback is part of a larger global trend. They are a nightmare for the shipping industry and cost them about $3.3 billion per year during 2008. Making $120 million in profit is unbelievable, and these Somalia pirates pulled that off with minimal equipment. Just imagine with the technology access they have now, how dangerous they can be. They have already got started, and this year the pirates hijacked the Bangladeshi bulk carrier MV Abdullah and received a $5 million ransom for the 23-member crew. The comeback started in December 2023, when the Somali pirates successfully hijacked a ship off Somalia's coast. The first such attack since 2017. Their attacks are organized. Pirate groups usually consist of 10, 30 members, often divided into smaller attack teams armed with AK-47 rifles, RPG-7 rocket-propelled grenades. Once the ship is hijacked, the pirates get hold of the crew, take them as hostage, and move the vessel to a safe location near the Somali coast. Imagine being out at sea, just doing your job, and suddenly you are being taken hostage or kidnapped. Well, that's exactly what's been happening more often lately. In fact, the number of these terrifying incidents doubled from 2022 to 2023, and in the first quarter of 2024, it skyrocketed by a whopping 7 times compared to the same time last year. And it's not just happening far away. Even in Southeast Asian waters, things are getting scarier. Major powers like the US, China, and India all have a stake in keeping those shipping routes safe, so they're willing to spend big bucks on patrols and security measures. Recently, on March 15th, an Indian Navy destroyer spotted armed men hijacking the MV Ruin bulk carrier in the Arabian Sea. They didn't waste any time and launched a 40-hour counterattack involving a patrol ship, drone, reconnaissance aircraft, and Indian Army commandos. The good news? The hijackers surrendered, and the crew of the Maltese-flagged ship was freed. But here's the twist. These weren't your average pirates from Yemen. Nope, they were Somali pirates. After years in waiting, they have made their comeback in the Arabian Sea. Why? Well, recent Houthi attacks on commercial vessels in the Red Sea forced major shipping companies to reroute their ships around Africa. And that opened up the perfect opportunity for these Somali pirates to strike. 3 big merchant ships got attacked recently, and 1 is still held in pirate hands. Moreover, they've targeted 18 smaller ships, taking control of 7 of them. The European Union's Atalanta anti-piracy operation is on high alert, but they're stretched thin with just 1 ship, the Victoria frigate, trying to keep the pirates at bay. To make matters worse, Houthi attacks in the southern Red Sea have caused a massive drop in maritime traffic. Ships are avoiding the Bab el-Mandeb Strait between Yemen and Djibouti like the plague, opting for the longer route around the Cape of Good Hope instead. This has caused a whopping 90% surge in traffic along that route, according to Portwatch, a maritime trade monitoring platform. There are about 4 organized pirate gangs hanging out in Somalia's Puntland region, like Somali Pirate Network, Somali Pirates Group, National Volunteer Coast Guard, and Somali Marines. Somali pirates typically operate in well-organized groups, often using motherships such as hijacked dhows and fishing vessels to launch attacks at great distances from the Somali coast. If we look around globally, piracy rates went up by 4% in 2023 compared to the previous year. And hotspots like the Gulf of Guinea and the Singapore Strait are struggling too, with piracy incidents hitting record highs. The Gulf of Guinea waters and the Singapore Strait too are notorious hotspots for piracy for a very long time. In 2023 and into the first quarter of 2024, incidents of piracy have surged in the Gulf of Guinea despite a decrease in incidents between 2020 to 2022. Political instability in that region might explain why pirate gangs are making a comeback. Operation Atalanta, the anti-piracy crew, has found some pirate hideouts on the Somali coast where they stash captured ships while they negotiate ransoms. Shekhar Sinha, a former Indian Navy Vice Admiral, says piracy was totally under control until the Houthis, a group from Yemen, started attacking ships in the Red Sea. If we talk about India, while it's true that the country boasts the largest naval presence in the Arabian Sea, but these pirate attacks affect the country the most. The area from the Horn of Africa to the coast of India is known as a high-risk zone for shipping. There are 25 countries in the region with their naval forces, but given the size of the area, the numbers are not a sufficient guarantee of safe navigation. So, to improve maritime safety and surveillance in this region, the Biden administration recently agreed upon a $3.99 billion sale of drones and military equipment to India. The sale included 31 Sky Guardian drones, 310 small-diameter bombs, 170 Hellfire missiles, and other related support equipment. And it's not just countries. Also, shipping companies feel the heat of pirate threats. If you look at the cost of piracy to the global economy, it is immense, with estimates suggesting losses of up to $18 billion annually. Shipping companies heavily invest in security measures like armed guards and secure routing. According to maritime security expert Borer Lewis, there are essentially 2 types of pirate attacks. First, there are small groups of fishermen near the Somali coast who target illegal fishing boats. Then there are the organized pirate gangs who operate on a grand scale, hijack merchant ships in deeper waters. These pirates are equipped with hijacked ships filled with weapons and advanced technology, making them a formidable threat. This is the group that the shipping companies should defend against. As a result, many companies in maritime security are starting to see more business as threats to commercial shipping get bigger. The market for maritime safety is already worth about $19.85 billion, and it's expected to hit $21.18 billion in 2024. By 2028, it could even reach $25.93 billion. Some of the big players in this field include names like Raytheon, Honeywell International, and Elbit Systems Limited. A spokesperson for the International Maritime Organization said, "The entire world depends on international shipping and seafarers, and therefore ships and cargoes should not be the subject of any type of attacks. The safety of seafarers are paramount. They are innocent victims who are simply doing their jobs in very harsh conditions." The rising trend of violence against ship crews is a growing concern, not only for global trade, but also for the well-being of the crew members who return home traumatized. The question is, can this alarming trend be stopped? Let's look at the USA. The U.S. Navy didn't say if they'd boost security along the Somali coast, but mentioned Operation Prosperity Guardian is working with other countries to patrol the Red Sea more. This is a bit reassuring for everyone in the industry. As far as India is concerned, it has played a significant role in counter-piracy operations. Recently, the Indian Navy captured 35 Somali pirates and rescued hostages from the hijacked MV Rouen. In the end, all we can say is that there have been efforts to address the root causes of piracy, such as poverty, political instability, and lack of economic opportunities in pirate-prone regions. By addressing these underlying issues, piracy can be reduced to some extent, but it would be interesting to see how this trend will evolve. That's all for this video. Don't forget to leave a like and comment your thoughts on this issue.